Hi everyone and welcome back to the subject word literature and though this is not about the word literature thing, but this is one of your outputs in word literature class, which is about the case analysis. So let's proceed everyone. So again, our topic for today that we'll be listening and try to understand is case analysis. So as we go on and move on to our discussion, case analysis, you're going to be looking into the definition of it, the types of case analysis, and some tips on how to do it, the format, and also how are you going to do the case analysis. So let's now proceed. So when we talk about case analysis, this is basically more of a document, a write up that would really analyze a case or a situation or an event. So a case analysis is definitely going into a case study. So a case study is a subcategory of research design which investigates problems and offers solution. So case studies can range from academic research studies to or corporate promotional tools trying to sell an idea. Their scope is quite vast. I mean, a bigger scope. Therefore, the case study details the history, issues, concepts, conflicts, and involved in the case. So, in our case, we're going to create a case analysis of a certain story. So, at the case analysis, you're going to be looking only into what issue is being shown in the story and how did these characters try to solve the issue based on the story presented. So let's proceed. So we do have two types of case analysis. The first one is factual. Second one is fictional. Factual because this one is depicting with real organization, real people, and real situation. On the other hand, we do have also some fictional case analysis wherein this is a case-to-case basis because fictional ones, although usually based loosely on actual people and events, and they do not use real organization, but they are based on real life situation. So let's now proceed. So these are the elements of a great case study. So the first one is it should be time bounded and issue bounded, meaning napapanahon yung discussion ninyo, and at the same time ay something to be talked about really. So the next one is the second one, which is about as an element of a great case study, you need to explain the issues and concepts. So through explanation and issues of the concepts, you will eventually understand what is being talked about into the document. The third one is the data and other information. Data and other information is basically more of um, putting into real, uh, I mean, true information, real information, and back up with statistics. So that's data and other information. So again, pag sinabing explanations of issues and concepts, background lang siya nung inyong topic. Understand? So we'll be moving. So for the fourth one is that scenarios that lead into different direction. So if into the third element of a great case study is you try to put it into a some results analysis that will back up the explanations of issues and concepts. Here naman, you're going to create a different scenario or a different perspective that will lead to different direction. Usually the pros and the cons are presented into that part. Next one is a story should be vivid, characters and moments. So what do you mean by that? You really need to look into the mind of the readers, how the readers try to understand what is into the document. Therefore, you need to create vivid description, something as understandable and easier to really analyze, because that's the thing of another element of a great case study. So these are the case study format. We do have two types of case study format. The first one is this one, meaning they are um, categorized into seven categories for the case study format. So the first one is the executive summary. Executive summary is like what you see into proposals or any documents like researches and all. But here in case analysis, you're going to present us also an executive summary, a summary of what you have discussed into the case study. Second one is the background. Background is like your introduction. stating the problem, stating the rationale why you come up with that case study. Next one is a case evaluation. Case evaluation is basically more of putting and laying down the information that will help the readers to weigh down which is right, which is wrong, which is something reasonable and verifiable. So that's case evaluation. And then um, next one would be the proposed solution. So from the dilemma or problem that was presented this time around, at the case analysis is you're going to propose a solution in a way that will address the problem. And then after that one, we'll be having the conclusion. Conclusion is already, I mean, through the different problems and solution, what can be concluded. So basically, this is the stand already of the writer. And then after that one is the implementation. So implementation in the usual one, implementation is basically more of what could be the perspective of I mean, trying to look into the problem and the solution and how it will be implemented. That's for your future purposes. Understand? So implementation can be some limitations also of your case study. And then after that one, we'll have the references already. Okay, so we do have also another type of format, which is about the case study outline. The case study outline, wherein they comprise only of 3 paragraph forms, wherein in the introduction you try to have the statement of the issue, the presentation of the problem, the explanation of the terms, the hypothesis, and the importance of the case study being presented. So that's the introduction. So but it doesn't mean that when we talk about 3 paragraphs, you try to minimize only, I mean, you try to limit your study into 3 paragraphs. Introduction, basically more, it can be 3 or 4 paragraphs. It depends on you. Basta, ang laman ng introduction would be the statement of the issue, the presentation of the problem, the explanation of the terms, the hypothesis, and the importance of your story. Okay? So the next one would be the body. So here at the body, this is basically more of putting already the information that will help the readers try to weigh down what is into your case study. So here you try to put the background of the study, background of the story, presentation of the analysis and data, strong argument, and then more of arguments ang nasa body. Okay? So the next one would be the conclusion. Here at the conclusion already, you try to look into, based on the discussion, what can you be concluded? I mean, what can you conclude out of the discussion? And here also, you try to put the recommendations. So recommendations like the one that we have in the implementation, what could be for the future, I mean, discussion and all, what could be your recommendation in terms of the ways and actions of the topic? Okay? So for our discussion, for our case analysis as part of your output, what you're going to do is the little, I mean, specific, the case study format, not the case study outline. So is it clear? So we'll now be moving on. So these are the tips when preparing the case. So you need to read and of course focus, read and examine the case thoroughly, um, trying to balance and all, and trying to really, I mean, collate all the information that is needed, and then focus on only into your analysis. That's why you need to really look into ano ba ang gusto mong i-point out dun sa topic na you wanted to present. And then the third one is you need to uncover possible solutions and then changes needed. So, kung yun ay sa story, i-uncover mo yun, the possible solutions presented by the characters. But you can also suggest possible solutions coming from the different references. And then after that one, you could come up already with this, I mean, selecting the best solution as for your conclusion. So next one is the tips when drafting the case. Now, when you're trying to write already into your case study, make sure that the words that, and also the topics that you try to use, I mean, try to utilize and try to be have it and focus is something relatable to the audiences. Next one is you need to really tell the whole story. I mean, the ins and out of the story, and then make sure that the words are understandable and it will be easier to understand and to read, and you need to include numbers if needed, to really look into if the ones that you are presenting is true and factual and valid. And next one is be specific. So I guess that would be all for the discussion of the case study analysis. So if you have any questions, you may just already message me into the GC or PM me personally. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice day.